Pranay, first of all, thank you very much for taking out a time. It means a lot, especially on a Sunday late afternoon. Let's begin this chat. Before that, I would like to formally again congratulate you for getting an admission into ISB.
Thank you so much.
Assuming this was your dream school you wanted to get into from my past discussions with you. So let's start by understanding your academic and professional profile.
Right, sure. So I'll start with my academic background. I had commerce with maths in school. During school, I gained some kind of interest in economics. I really liked devising quantitative meanings from behavioral aspects of humans and society in general. That motivated me to pursue economics for my undergrad. And during my undergrad, I realized this interest towards finance and analytics that further motivated me to pursue this role in D.E Shaw, where I'm currently working as a senior analyst for the financial research department.
Okay. And why and when did you decide to pursue an MBA? And how much time did you take to prepare for the GMAT and, develop the application essays?
Right. So it was actually my second year in my current professional stint, where I realized that I had the abilities and the skills to create bigger impact in the society. I was gaining an immense interest into analytics. So two particular aspects which I feel which sort of motivated me. Firstly was that I wanted to create more impact using the analytical skills that I had gained till then. Presently I'm focused in the financial research domain. I want to expand this particular field, sort of move towards consumer banking and lending analytics as well. At the same time, I'm open with exploring other fields too. Secondly, I wanted to delve a little deeper into analytics. That is where the electives within the MBA program allows you to specialize in the field that you are interested in. So these were the two primary aspects. And coming to your second part, that is when did I start preparing for my GMAT? So in the year 2021, I started preparing in the month of Feb. And I gave my last GMAT on 22nd of November.
Okay. And how many attempts did you take on GMAT?
I took 3 attempts.
3 attempts. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, great. And, given your experience, what was the focus of your application and what were some of the key strategies, in presenting your profile and career goals?
Right. So, like I said, I had an immense interest in analytics and how I can solve problems, business problems and societal problems using analytics. So I sort of started my journey towards achieving that primary goal. That is whatever I want to do post ISB. So at each step in my journey, there was something that I did around this, achieving this particular goal. So I framed my essays around this aspect. That is, I had a sense of direction for whatever I wanted to achieve post ISB. And that is something I kept on discussing with my assigned coordinator as well.
Okay. And what were the kind of inputs you received from ISBmantra that you think were the most helpful to you? And how did you approach and, and how did your perspective get enhanced before, or rather with these interactions?
Right. So before even I approached ISBmantra, I had certain expectations from a counselor, which was whatever thought process I had, I just wanted to structure it so that it was reflecting my aspirations in the best way possible. So in order to structure my thought process, I think I was introduced with the STAR framework. I think I knew about it very long back, but I wasn't able to implement it that well in my essays and in my thought process. So STAR, just to expand the acronym, stands for situation, task, action, and result. So in my interactions with whatever thought process I had, we discussed and tried to align it in a STAR framework. And since I was quoting multiple experiences in my essays, each of the experience was sort of fitted into this framework so that the best highlight or the best reflection came out of the essays. So I particularly attribute ISB Mantra for inculcating this habit during the essays in me. Secondly, definitely the field that I'm aiming for, that is a little technical and a little niche, since the entire analytics industry is budding. I mean, it's reached a certain stage, but I would still say it's still budding compared to industries anywhere else in the world. So I was a little skeptical about my career path, and I particularly wanted to discuss with someone experienced, someone knowledgeable in this particular field. So yeah, I was able to have those kind of interactions where my career path was solidified. And I think even though I'll be in ISB, I don't see my goals changing much. I mean, I'll be open to exploring other fields, but with the kind of knowledge and interactions I've had, and the kind of personal traits that I've shared, which align with this particular industry, I think I'll stick with it. So I really attribute ISB Mantra for it.
Okay. And how much time did ISB gave you to prepare for the interview?
So I had 6 days in my hand.
Okay. And how was your experience interviewing with ISB? What were the key areas of discussion during this interview?
So actually, just to add on to your previous question, although I had 6 days in my hand, I started preparing much before that. Actually, it was 2-3 days right after I submitted my application. So it went on for good 1.5 months. I clarified my thoughts before I actually got an interview call, and post that I just recalled and remembered whatever answers I had, and just try to structure whatever thoughts I had gathered in the previous 1 or 2 months. Yes.
Well, I do recollect that, the first mock interview which I had done, you were among one of the best first mock interviews I had seen. So this explains that, your preparation behind it.
Thank you.
Great. Yes. So, the second question, which is the area of focus during the interview, and how was your experience of ISB interview itself?
Sure. So the mock interviews that I gave to some of the people in ISB Mantra, that had sort of set a benchmark in terms of forming my expectations around the actual interview I had. My last mock interview went very well. And because of that, I had set an extremely high benchmark of my performance. My actual interview, I think it sort of went, it was 80% of what I actually expected it to be, in terms of rightly reflecting on what my direction is and what my goals are. Now, talking about the actual interview, so I had questions around my background in school, about my background in my undergraduate degree, my experience as well, and my direction post ISB. I think I was able to do well with explaining whatever I'm currently doing, as in my current experience. Since that is a little technical, I was able to take it to a base level and explain it to them, since they didn't have a similar background. And I think they really appreciated that. Apart from that, my interview panel was alumni, were complete alumni from ISB, and they were in product management roles. So I had kept product management as a long-term goal for myself. So so they tried to understand the path that I want to take towards product management. I felt since they had more experience, they tried to grill me on that particular aspect, but I was able to convince them about till 60-70%. I think since they had more experience, they tried to understand more, but I wasn't able to reach that level.
Okay, great. So the different sessions you had with ISB Mantra, how did each of these sessions help you to frame your answers, and how did it overall help you?
Right. Sure. So the first mock interview that I had with you, I think that sort of instilled this sense of confidence that I was probably on the right path. But I also got to know that I had surface level knowledge of certain important aspects on which I might be questioned upon. So first of all, I got to know where all I need to be more detailed on. Secondly, I also got to know that needed to lend some sort of structure to certain aspects of my answers. So this was the second thing. So I just worked on these two particular aspects till my second session, which was a counseling session, not a mock interview. In that particular session, I actually got to know that my career path had to be more solidified in case I had panelists from a product management background. And I think I really saw that hit at that particular point of time, that I had to research a little more just to solidify my career path. So I worked on this one primary aspect which I was notified. And yeah, I think the third session, that was the second mock, that went very well for me.
Great. Now that you have an admit, what are you looking forward to the most at ISB? And are there any specific things you are planning to do before you join the program?
Yep. So talking about the first question So applying for ISB was backed by certain reasons which I had. One of the reasons was that I wanted a diverse cohort. Now, what that does is it makes you see perspectives which other people might have while approaching a certain problem statement or a case study. So I'm particularly looking forward to working with other people on case studies, understand their perspective of a certain problem statement, understand their approaches, and really looking forward to these discussions that I will have at ISB. Secondly, to answer your second question, that is, what am I preparing for? So we are given certain pre-term material that we need to brush up on so that we can quickly pick up stuff during the actual classes. This is just base material which we can cover up on ourselves as well. And apart from that, since I know that I want to aim for analytics consulting or product analytics as a role post ISB, I've started preparing a little on that as well in terms of networking with people with this kind of a background and in such kind of roles. Secondly, I'm also planning to brushing up on these analytics skills, which tend to be a little technical, and you tend to forget if you aren't working on a project at that point of time.
Great, excellent. Pranay, before we wrap up, what is your advice to prospective applicants?
Okay. So my advice would come from me, and I've had certain contacts and certain journey towards ISB. So I would say don't treat things to an end. Whatever we're doing, whatever effort that we're putting in, it's a means to an end. So don't succumb to the pressure that comes with this kind of preparation. I think I did that to some sort, and I realized it midway, luckily, and I was able to work on that. So all of this is just a means to an end, but still be motivated. I think that metaphor of do or die, it's used to motivate you and not to pressurize you. So be motivated and don't treat things as an end.
Okay, that's so nice. Yeah. Well, that is it. That was the last question, Pranay. Again, thank you so much for taking out your valuable time, and we wish you all the best, in your future endeavors. And
thank you so much.
Keep in touch. Whatever help we can be of, do not hesitate to get in touch with us.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.